And we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the pre-show. This is the pre-show.
The show that's before the show.
The show that's before the show, but not before the show. Because if it was before, it's not the horse before the cart. Oh, that was a DJ scratch. So.
Well, I mean, that was before the show.
So. That was before the show, so it's all right.
So it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, all right. So just pulling the curtain back a little bit, we're trying a new recording thing. So Aramis has a much better, clearer picture. We hope once I hit record. Because this looks great. Like last week on Zencaster, you looked fine. And then we hit record, and it's all of a sudden like, you look like a Rorschach test. So
yeah, and I think it just had something to do with the software itself.
Yeah, it was the software we're using. So
yeah, apparently the audio was fine.
Yeah, the audio is fantastic, and this is pretty good so far too, I think. So nice goatee stash, Aramis, Justin says. So, and my cat is.
I saw a cat.
Yeah, that's Tyrion. He's in a mood. So Tyrion, you can't sit, Tyrion. Yeah, that's gonna happen tonight. So, all right. So you're good, right? How's your? You know what? Just to be on the safe side, this thing already cut us out. So I am going to hit the mouse jiggle button, and we're gonna jiggle this mouse every 52 seconds so that we don't go into screensaver, because that would suck. So
yeah, that'd be awkward.
I mean, you guys would get a Matrix picture, so that would be good.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, you should talk.
But I've been talking.
All right, cool. Okay, so I appear to be loud. Keep talking, because now this is giving me... Oh, this is great. This software is giving me a level on you.
Oh, really? That's cool.
And your level is down a little bit.
Down a little bit. Oh, no. I could also be down a little bit. I don't know.
I will pull mine down a little. That's all. Try to get us even. How's that?
I mean, it sounds the same to me.
Okay.
So I don't think.
But at least now I'm not overpowering you, so that it's mixed right. Oh, I'm starting to really like this. And apparently it's going to do the whole thing with the when we do the having people in. So, all right, I think we're ready then. We're starting a little late, so we probably should get this road on the show. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so I'm the one who hits the button again. We don't have you hitting the button.
Yeah, I don't gotta hit any buttons.
All right, so I'm going to start recording locally, but I'll also record. All right, so here we go. Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the PlanesTalkers podcast, the show by casuals for casuals. I'm your host, Will Benson, joined as always by my... Oh, damn it, I couldn't come up with something funny. Co-host Aramis Bros. Aramis, sir, how are you tonight? I failed.
Listen, it's just because of how awesome I am. I totally understand.
Oh my gosh, and now you're pixelated. Yep. Now if you're not watching live, folks, we were talking about this. Okay, we may have to...
For me, you're a little pixelated, so it might just be...
We may have to use Zoom. Yeah, but I'm taking your image and broadcasting. It's my side. My side matters.
It does say in our chat that the recordings look and sound much better than what you see live. So great.
Yeah, but the problem is...
We'll have to see.
Well, no, because what I'm doing is I'm sending my... We're not recording the video. I'm sending my video out. Like, what I see on my screen is what goes out to the people in the interwebs. That's okay. We'll talk about it offline, but we might have to stick with Zoom, unfortunately, because at the very least you look good, or better. Better's a better word. I probably shouldn't say good.
I don't think good is possible for me.
Yeah, we know, Levi. That's just it. Because I'm local and it's taking my local image. On Aramis's side, he's fine. But I'm pixelated. So it's obvious what they're doing. That the web app that we're using is pixelating me to allow us to be able to communicate better. It's really highlighting the audio more than the video. So I get it. It is what it is. We'll probably be using Zoom for a while. We'll figure this out though. Because I like this software otherwise though. Huh. God, I wish there was a way to fix that. All right. Anyway, moving on. Before we get going, we'd like to remind you that this episode and every episode of the PlanesTalkers podcast is sponsored by Kerwin's Game Store. Kerwin's Game Store is New York State's premier source for collectible card games, trading card games, tabletop games, miniatures, comic books, retro video games, and toys. With their clean, open gaming areas available to everyone at no charge, Kerwin's provides a fun and inviting atmosphere for new and experienced gamers alike. They have locations in both Catskill, New York, and on the second floor of the Poughkeepsie Gallery in Poughkeepsie, New York. Kerwin's Game Store is the absolute best place to go in gaming. They have an awesome website, KGS Online, that is Kerwin's Game Store, or KiteGoSamuelOnline.com. Check it out. Don't forget, you get 5% off any online order when you use the promo code PlanesTalkers at checkout. We also want to take this time to recognize our rare level patrons, Spencer, Chiba Tank, Nurse Gamer VJ, Bell, Levi, George, David, Brian, and Apollo. Shout out our mythic rare patron, Jonathan. And then we want to remind you we have really awesome producers. I mean, incredible producers. The fact that we have 4, Jamie, Carrot, John, and Jake. Like, we could not do this show without you people. We are so just honored to have you guys. Thank you so much for coming alongside the show. We couldn't do this without you. I mean, really what patrons tend to get, they get 2 real big perks. The first big perk is obviously they get first dibs at Commander Craft, which it looks like Apollo may take that 4th slot unless we can fill it. And then they also get first dibs on the Win-A-Box tournament, which we're going to be talking about tonight. So to find out more, go to patreon.com/planestalkers. And I want to remind you guys about that Commander Craft broadcast. We do it on Wednesday nights. We play listeners like yourselves using webcams on Spell Table, 4-person commander. Levi is our returning champion. He's got a pretty good deck, but at least it isn't that other piece of crap deck we saw.
You got to do the thing.
I got to do what thing?
You got to do the thing.
The thing?
Yeah, somebody said hi.
Oh, shoot. That's what I get for not paying attention.
Gotta do the thing.
I gotta do the thing. I didn't even notice. I was totally... Well, now I've rearranged my office, so I have...
all those monitors, and you couldn't pay attention.
Because I'm looking at the one above... I'm looking at the one above OBS, and you're sitting over here. It's very weird. It's awkward. But we are proud to announce that, we are proud to be the flagship podcast for the PlanesTalkers podcast. Network of podcasts. Our sister show Cantrip Cartel is launched. They're on Anchor at anchor.fm/Cantrip Cartel. You can also download them on most podcatchers. Guys, their show is really good. If you haven't checked it out, you need to. They really go deep into the legacy. They go into more of the Eternal formats than we do. We deal in Commander here pretty regularly, but I mean, we're still pretty much a standard podcast. Likewise, again, Commander Craft Wednesday night. Play us. It'll be fun. And finally, we're proud to announce, well, we've actually, announced like it's new. We're proud to be a part of the Geek to Geek Media Network. This is a network of geeky podcasts, Twitch streams, publications, articles, wonderful stuff. It's all promoting positivity and inclusion, as well as just showcasing some really great things to geek out on. They have a ton of great content. You got to check it out, geektogeekmedia.com. But we're still in Untap, and tonight I actually am untapping this lovely Saranac, which is hard for me because I've been on a boat on the Saranac River, and, well, I've done things in the Saranac River. But anyway, Saranac Hoppy Hour Hero Mosaic IPA. So that's what I'm drinking tonight.
You're recycling.
Yes, basically. But Aramis, my friend, how the hell are you?
I am good. I mean, we're slowly chiseling our way out of the ice and snow sleet mixture thing that we got over the weekend. I've never seen anything like this. So after it was done, I went to my wife and I was like, hey, I'm going to go outside and shovel the walk and, hopefully get everything cleared, get some salt down. It's going to be great. I go out and I'm trying to shovel this stuff and the shovel's not going through. I'm like, what the hell is this stuff? So I go and I'm like, all right, I got an idea. It's kind of icy. It's kind of thick. Let me get like those edger tools that people use
Yeah.
to like take the dirt off of walkways and stuff, like on the edge. So I'm like, let me get that. That'll cut right through this crap. Nope.
Nope.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have some fun with this. I went to the top step of my porch, jumped off, didn't break through. It is it's like walking on concrete. It's amazing. It was fantastic when I took my son sledding on the hill.
Yeah.
Because you're going like 70,000 miles an hour. It's like you're the luge in Beijing. But I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with this stuff.
Yeah, it's for those that don't know, we're talking the weather here. We're in upstate New York, and we had some. Well, we didn't have it as bad as some, to be honest. I mean, but we had some pretty good amount of. Well, we had a major ice storm like a week ago, and then this past weekend got nailed again. So I don't think we're getting anything this weekend, though. Thank God. I think it's just gonna be really cold.
I think it's relatively quiet for the next few days. But I mean, this stuff is just. I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like 4 inches thick, and it's hard as a rock.
And there are way too many jokes on that one. I mean, the problem with me is it's only 4? All right, moving on. So
in a row?
37. No. All right. So how the heck are you on the episode? Just the weather and stuff? That's
other than the weather, everything is great. Magic is great mostly. And family's good, work is good, everything's going really well. Oh, wait. You're right on top of that one. I see how it is. Feeling slighted. You insult my wife, sir, which means you insult me.
I did not insult your wife. One time I miss her cue. One time.
Do I need to remind you she's Italian?
Yeah, she's.
One time is all it takes.
You have an absolute sickness. Great. And you're coming to the birthday party. Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Is she Sicilian? Am I going to have to give her a special dispensation that day? Is it like,
she's not, but her sister is.
You come to me on the occasion of my wife's birthday. What accommodation can I do for you?
We're going to have a conversation. It's going to involve me talking, you sitting there, and if I don't like the way you're looking at me, we're going to have some problems.
Well, I hope she plays poker, because I'm looking forward to playing a little cards. I love Magic, don't get me wrong, but since I moved out here, I used to play poker almost monthly, if not weekly, back in Rochester. And so Wendy was like, we could play poker. And I'm like, we could play poker? Aha! Great. So, and I told her, I was like, listen, Aramis thinks we should play Commander. And she gave me this look, and it was an interesting look. One of not so much exasperation, but slightly resigned. And I was like, no, we'll play Commander. I'm just going for the alcohol.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my wife's her birthday is next month, so I won't say the year. See, so.
Yeah. I could translate, but
I would not recommend that, sir,
because I have a very very good streak going of not having things thrown at me.
Rotten Chester. Hey, Parkman. I've killed for less. 585, born and raised, buddy. I am old, 50 and fabulous. Whoa, she drops it. Okay, then.
Herself. Okay.
She went to the truth bomb. So yeah, we had a pretty quiet weekend. Her and I. It was just us, no kids. We hunkered down for the storm. I worked from home Friday, and got out Saturday. But we kept the house kind of warm and stuff. And the plumber guy's coming this week because we still don't have water downstairs. But I rearranged my office, and I'll tell you what, I feel like I'm lit better. I feel like it's a lot better set up. I can't wait till Wednesday to see how Commander Craft looks. So
I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
So yeah, me as well. So we got a pretty good show tonight, though. We should probably get right into upkeep. So main one, we are going to talk a little bit state of standard, not long. We are just going to touch on it for two reasons. One, yes, we wouldn't even be touching on it if there weren't a change made. But really, it's all going to go away next week. And then we're going to kind of do our last preview of, basically our two favorite cards, because we really want to leave a lot of time to talk about the deck list, which is why I think we have so many people in Twitch tonight is we're talking deck lists. So hopefully you guys are there. You can tell us what you think about your decks and stuff like that, because Aramis and I will tear them apart. Analyze. And, we're not going to call and say who we think's going to win. We're totally...
absolutely terrible predictions will be made.
Oh, yeah, awful. I don't... we should keep track, you and I. It'd be like, who got, who did better. Yeah.
We could, but I mean, if the banning prediction records are any indication, I'm not sure you want to keep track.
Oh. And a hearty yuck food to you too, sir. So anyway, that's going to bring us to tonight. We do have a combat if we need it. Depends on how long main one takes. We'll see if we can. I can't wait to have mine be torn apart. Look at this. What is this?
I'm not touching that one.
How about the hips? Who the hell is hitting on my wife in my chat?
Well, this is becoming a trend because you didn't shut that shit down last week.
Oh, I shut Jake down. I shut Jake down big time 2 weeks ago. I was like, hey, wait a minute. But yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get into main phase and get this party started.
Main phase.
All right. Main phase. So, there has been some, I guess, movement is the best way to put it. We've had movement in standard. I have to figure it is because of the ban.
I think that opened up some things for archetypes that were sort of like being oppressed.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we're seeing some really great stuff, and I'm just pulling it up now. But again, I have to hit scroll lock because Synergy keeps putting me on the machine.
Repressed.
Come see the violent inheritance system. Come see the violent inheritance system. Help, I'm being repressed. That was where it was. Okay. So, all right, we have some great stuff. So, we have a new top deck.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you kind of called this.
Did I? I don't remember.
You did. You said eventually Control's gonna win out. And you're not wrong. Control's at the top. And by a very, very healthy, it's 3%, but it's also the deck that everyone is talking about. Orzhov Control. So it's obviously Meat Hook Massacre is loving life. The Spider Queen is doing some stuff. But it's a lot of removal. Like just a crap ton of removal.
And reanimation.
Like I think this is what they intended with vampires, and they're not disappointed. This deck is really, really consistent. Edgar is great, but you knew he was going to be. The Spider Queen, like I said. But yeah, Deadly Dispute, Vanishing Verse, and then Agadeem's Awakening and Amaria's Call. So
I mean, this kind of also tells you where standard is. Half of the cost of this deck are the 4 copies of Meat Hook Massacre.
Yeah.
$174 for a playset, boys and girls.
Yeah, Meat Hook Massacre is ridiculous, but again, great card, and I need at least one. So
yeah, one would be nice.
Yeah, I might use our little tidbit from the other place, and on that one. So
it is a hell of a card.
It is really good, and it would be good for Commander. So, but it's definitely doing some major work in Standard. For those of you who don't know, Meat Hook Massacre is 2 black and an X. When it enters the battlefield, each creature gets -X until end of turn. Sounds simple enough. It's the second half where it goes from a -X to a fucking massacre worm. Where whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain a life. It just God damn it.
It's a very versatile card. It can close games. It's a board wipe.
Yeah.
I mean, you can drop it early for a small amount or hang on to it for a huge blowout later in the game. I mean, it does a lot of work.
Yeah, 17 divided by 4 is what. So it's like a $47, $48 card.
Yeah, it's running about almost $45 a card.
Damn, that's just. Yeah, but it's seeing play in Legacy too. I think it's seeing play in pretty much almost every format. Mono Green has fallen to 3rd, with Is It Dragon surprisingly hanging on. Again, you called that as well. You were like, they don't really need. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
But
they did not need Alrund's Epiphany. They did not need they didn't need what was the other two cards? Divide by Zero.
Yeah.
And they didn't need what was the third card that got banned? There were 3. It was 2 blue cards.
Divide by Zero, Alrund's Epiphany were the 2.
Yeah, and then there was a third one. I thought it was blue as well.
No, the third one was the land.
Oh, the Faceless Haven. Yeah,
Faceless Haven, yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it didn't need either of those 2 cards because it's like, oh, okay, we're not playing Alrund's Epiphany. I guess we put in more Hullbreaker Horrors.
Yeah, and Dragon's Fire, and yeah, it's still doing expressive. It's still copying spells like crazy.
Yeah, it's fine.
And Wandering Mind, interesting. All right, I'm in. All right, so yeah, that's kind of standard. Here's the thing, though. Everything's going to change. Maybe not next week because, I mean, the official release isn't for a week from Friday. But everything is up for changing because we're going to kind of pivot to that next. Let's face it, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is the real deal. 100%. It has incredible upside. It has incredible staying power. I'm liking a lot of what I've seen from it. That sheet's not slot.
It's definitely better than the first go around in Kamigawa. I think as far as the first, I mean,
I think it's better than anything we've seen in Standard in some time. Like, I'm not going to take it all the way back. Well, you know what? I will. I might take this all the way back to Eldraine. I think it's the best we've seen since Eldraine.
I mean, I guess I'm gonna wait and see what your thinking is on that one because I don't know if I agree.
Okay. This is set up for the Patreon. Hold on. Google Slides. There we go.
But I definitely wish that we were still doing blocks. Because,
yeah, me too.
Like all of these stories feel so rushed now. Because, oh my God, we're in Kamigawa. All this stuff is happening. Whew. Okay, that was great. Oh, by the way, Strixhaven, all this other stuff is happening. Okay.
Great.
Catch your breath. Oh, Call Time, by the way, Call Time. All this stuff happened on Call Time. Oh, wait, we're going to Zendikar next, right? Oh, wait, Innistrad. Hey, Innistrad, what's going on over there? Can we breathe?
Yeah, no kidding. Patreon. No, I want it to be the slides there.
Even if it's just like 2 sets.
Yeah,
that wasn't too bad. I mean, Kaladesh and Aether Revolt. It told, it let the story kind of flesh itself out a little bit, let you sort of absorb it a little more. I personally always preferred the 3-set blocks, but I'm old man yelling at clouds.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm a little disappointed by what we're seeing lately with a lot of that stuff too. It's.
I'm looking forward to New Capenna.
What's that?
I'm looking forward to New Capenna, but it's like we're only going to be there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and that's just. I think they need to do something of where if it's
especially if it's a brand new world that we've never been to.
Yeah, that's just it. Like I thought we got off. I would have liked to stand on Eldraine for a couple of rounds. I would have liked to stand
on Ikoria.
Yeah.
That seemed like a really decent, nice place. Call Time looked really awesome, but can't stay there. Got to move on to Strixhaven, another new world. Oh wait, can't stay there either because we're going back to Zendikar.
Do a raid. So this gamer girl needs to go. Oh, my wife left. Yay!
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about her. All right, now. Yeah. So, I would like to see us I'd like to see them slow it down a little bit. I don't think they're going to, unfortunately.
Like, I don't care that they're releasing a bajillion sets a year. I would rather that if they're going to do that they stay on one world for more than one set.
Right.
Because you really can't, unless you're reading the fiction, the cards don't tell the story all that well.
Right.
I mean, they never really did to begin with, but at least with 3 sets, you had more of an idea of seeing the plot progress.
You're not wrong. So let's do this, though. We do have 2 cards, Aramis and I. Again, it's a little bit of a timing issue. We'll work on this for the next one. I mean, the winter box coming out right around pre-release. We tend to short shrift previews, and I'm not necessarily opposed to that again because if you listen to a lot of Magic content right now, a lot of sites are doing previews. So I kind of like that we do something a little different, but I do know that we should probably spend a little bit more time in previews. I like what we did last week with looking at previews from the viewpoint of the mechanic. I think that gets you a lot more like than individual cards, looking at the mechanic and how it works. As you start to become previewed and stuff, you start to understand. We might do that again next time. But we're going to start things off with my personal favorite card that I've seen through this. It is a rare. And it's going to probably surprise Aramis, but I think this has a lot of upside for standard, and it's costed pretty high. But what it does as far as choice and options, I did farewell. So it's 2 white, 4 colorless. And it's a sorcery speed. Choose 1. The key here is or more. Exile all enchantments, all creatures, all enchantments, and all graveyards. That to me is a really good card. Now, it's 6. But by turn 6, that's kind of when you want a board wipe. You know? And this is wiping everything but lands, really. And permanently, and planeswalkers. So if you're playing a Super Friend deck, good effing luck. But I mean, the ability to, and it's not destroy. We've seen Damnation and stuff like that where it's destroy these. This is exile, which I think is key for a lot of what we're seeing in Crimson Vow with the regards to zombies and things of that nature. They really pumped white in this deck, like in this set, like huge in my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, it's an extremely versatile card. I think with some of the other Wrath options in Standard, it may not see too much play. 6 mana is a lot, even for a board wipe as versatile as this. Going into something like Commander, yeah, this is going to find a home for sure.
Yeah.
Like you said, this kills everything except for Planeswalkers and land. So you throw this into a Super Friends deck, and it's, you know, that's your one-stop shop to say, okay, well, everything is dead. Now I can take over.
Right.
And, you know, again, the exile is pretty huge because there's not a lot of stuff that can get things back from exile, thankfully. I mean, that really should be, like it used to be, removed from the game.
Right.
So it's a lot of different things all wrapped up into one. And I am figuring that the reason that they costed it the way that it is, because they're basically figuring you're going to be choosing at least 2 or 3 of these every time.
Right.
So that makes it worth the cost. I mean, I don't really see somebody paying 6 mana just to exile graveyards.
Right.
Unless there's something really fucking terrifying in there.
Exactly. And that's just it. I mean, but especially with things like Jin-Gitaxias and Foreign Collects, and I mean, you need a way to kind of handle them.
Can you imagine this thing in some of the older formats with something like Teferi or Vedalken Ori casting this thing at flash at instant speed? You're like, oh, you're attacking me for all this dead, and no, everything's dead.
What, with Teferi? On your turn, I'm going to...
I'm just going to nuke everything.
Yeah.
And nothing you can do.
And again, it is high cost, and usually I'm the king of, you know, I'm Timmy and I want it all for a mana. But at the end of the day, this does everything you want it to do in Standard, but it also does especially in the older formats, Commander. Probably, I'd love to hear what Jake thinks about this for Legacy. It might be a little too high powered for Legacy. I think it's good for Modern. I think with you know, with Delver kind of coming back around and other things like that, like this is a pretty. I like this card a lot. So
I feel like Wizards should have gone all in on this though. You know, make it cost maybe like an extra white pip, so 7 mana. Put lands and planeswalkers in there too. You know, I know they really shy away from mass land destruction because it's not fun. But if it's just the one card, you know, make it say you can only choose up to 4.
Well, what you do is if they did that, then I would cast it. I would cast it for everything. And then Teferi's Protection. Fuck all of you. Bye-bye now.
I mean, and you can still do that with this.
Yeah,
you know. But it's like, you know, it's like say add if not lands, add planeswalkers, and then just say choose up to 4.
Actually, what I would have liked to have seen them do was it's 2, choose 1, but like a kicker. Like choose 1, and you may pay an additional 1 for each other one you choose.
Yeah, that's basically multi-kicker.
Yeah. Like if you want to exile artifact, you know, I would have loved to have seen that. But you know what? Overall, this is pretty good.
No, it's good. It's a solid card.
Let's hit your favorite card, and you can tell the story about why this is your favorite card.
So my favorite card is a common. And in order to explain the card, I'm going to say the card in its Japanese. The way that it's printed in Japan, Omeawamo Shinderu. So for those of you who watched anime and know Fist of the North Star,
both of you,
you know what that means. The card's called "You Are Already Dead," and I love this card just for so many reasons. So if you haven't watched, I've actually never watched the anime, but I know the meme. So when he in the anime, he's like some like master martial artist, and he has this attack where he's hitting the person like a million times. He's like, "Ah, da, 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 da," and he's hitting them like 50,000 times in like a span of like 2 seconds. But none of the blows are particularly hard. So the guy that he's fighting is like, "Oh, your puny attacks didn't do anything to me," and the guy just, the hero of the story just goes, "Omea wamo shinderu," and the other guy goes, "Nani?" which is like, "What?" And then he explodes. It's just this hailfire of this hail of blood and guts. It's disgusting. It's great. And it's like this classic anime trope where, like, the guy with the sword slices really fast at the enemy. He doesn't think anything's wrong, and then you just see the guy sort of slide in half, not realizing he's already dead.
Like
I just find the card really cool. It's like, it's not a particularly powerful card. It's a 1-mana black instant that destroys a creature that was dealt damage this turn, and you draw a card. I mean, it's okay. It's a decent limited trick. I don't know how much play this is going to see. I just love the fact that they went all in on the meme to the point where when this card is translated into Japanese, using Omeawamo Shinderu is actually a very crude and impolite way of saying "you are already dead." So they use like the slang term instead of the proper Japanese translation, which I just love the fact that they went all in on it. And really said, "Hey, here's a meme. When we're in a Japanese, like, super futuristic sci-fi anime world, we got to use as many anime tropes as we possibly can." And I think this is one of like the one of the classic ones, and I'm really glad they put it in there.
Yeah, me too. So I don't disagree. I'm very excited to see what this card does, and
you'll have to look it up look up the meme on YouTube. You'll get it.
Yeah, totally. So I'm pretty excited for that. I think this is I'm excited for this set. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they did a great job with this set, and to your point from earlier, they did increase the power level.
Right, and we can kind of talk about that during combat. And I'm fixing a shot now, guys. Those of you watching, forgive me, but I had to make changes on the fly here. So, but yeah, I definitely. We could actually, I mean, we're doing pretty okay on time. I think, if you wanted to go into combat a little bit, we could talk about the power level.
Sure.
So let's, in fact, let's do that. Let's,
Combat phase.
Or wait, do we do commercial before combat?
Yeah, we can do it after.
Okay. So combat phase. My combat tonight is I want to discuss the power level. A lot of people are talking on different casts that I listen to, different content creators, about the fact that, they're like, everybody so far seems to be of the same mind in regards to power level of this set. So, and in that, after many months of, less than exciting releases, let's be honest. I mean, for the past, let's say 5 sets, I'm going to say, Midnight Hunt, Crimson Vow, Forgotten Realms, Strixhaven, and Kaldheim. Like, they've been kind of lower powered, more moderate, kind of nice stuff to get, but not ultra powered. This feels, like we never thought that this set would come and really impact standard. This set feels like it is definitely going to impact and change standard. I think it'll also have an impact outside of standard, but at the very least, standard is definitely going to see a hit. But the question is it too much? Okay, we've got some pretty crazy bonkers stuff out there. Do we have too much power? Is this a Throne of Eldraine level? So that's kind of the discussion. What do you think, Aramis?
I think it's a hard no.
Okay.
I think it's an unequivocal no. This is not on the same level as Throne of Eldraine. There's nothing in this set that screams to me, what the fuck were they thinking? There's nothing in here that's an Oko. There's nothing in here that's Once Upon a Time. There's nothing in here that is Escape to the Wilds. And geez, what else was banned from Throne of Eldraine? Cauldron Familiar. Fires of Invention. All those just ridiculous cards that came out of that set. This is not there. There are some very good cards in this set.
There's some very good cards in here.
Boseiju Who Endures is probably the best card in the set.
I still think Jin-Gitaxias.
No, Jin-Gitaxias is good, but from a competitive standpoint, he should see play, but I don't think he's going to be some meta warping monstrosity that needs any sort of concern. 7 mana is a lot for blue. Granted, you might see him in Izzet and they'll ramp into him with treasures, but
or green and ramp into him with Simic. So
could be Simic too and ramp into that way. But I think the channel mechanic on the legendary lands is the best thing that they did.
You're not wrong.
I think that's just it's the perfect use of the legendary permanent type, especially for a land. You have an extra copy. Get some value out of it.
Right.
I'm okay with that, and I think Boseiju is very strong, but it's not broken.
No,
I don't think it's broken. But it'll definitely see play pretty much anywhere that sees green. But it's narrow enough, I think, that it's not going to be too much of an issue. And a lot of the other cards, I think they're just very well done. I think, yes, it is definitely an uptick in power from Forgotten Realms and Innistrad.
Definitely.
Both Innistrads. But it's not in the same, it's not even the same ballpark as Throne of Eldraine. Or even Ikoria.
Yeah, and Parkman's right. He thinks Boseiju is going to be more powerful than it appears to the current meta because of all the enchantment creatures in this set.
Well, it's going to depend on how many of those enchantment creatures also see play too.
Well,
but this does kill Meathook Massacre.
Yes.
It would have killed Faceless Haven if it wasn't banned. But it still kills like Lair of the Hydra and those man lands. Kills non-basic lands. It kills artifacts and enchantments, which is, very good. It's very, very good. Instant speed, essentially can't be countered. Gets them a land back, and you could do it for as little as 1 mana. But I don't think the enchantment creatures are going to be such a dominant feature of Standard that this is something that needs. Because I think Pleasant Kenobi said it best. They never ban answers. They always ban threats. Boseiju's an answer. They're gonna let the answers stick around.
You're probably not wrong. I kind of agree with you on that. I think the power level has. You can't look at this set and not think the power level has been raised a little bit, and I'm okay with it. It's to the point where I'm excited to open our boxes. I'm very excited to open a box and see what I pull on this because I think there's going to be some worthwhile pulls in here, both for Standard and Commander. I do think it's definitely going to impact the meta. I think Orzhov control is going to hang around. Dragons definitely get some help, but I think ninjas will become a thing again for a little while. There may not be enough ninja. Ninjas might be more of a modern or more eternal format because of what's come before. I don't know that ninjutsu will see a lot of play in Standard because of the fact that there's not a lot of support for it outside this set. But otherwise, the fact is, nobody's talking about the fact that there's a ton of dragons, which are on flavor for Kamigawa, but it's obvious that dragon tribal is a thing. Wizards has thrown dragons in almost every set for the past year. You should be able to build a pretty powerful, if you wanted to build a stompy dragon deck, you now have the tools. It is definitely ramped up. I don't think it's Eldraine level. I do think we'll see some bans. I don't know what. But I think here's the thing, and it's not to any fault necessarily of Wizards. I think you're going to see some bans because whining and crying have resulted in bans before. And I think Wizards is going there's going to be some whining and crying out there.
So what screams to you as a problem right now? Out of Kamigawa.
I'm not sure necessarily, to tell you the truth. I'm just looking at a lot of it. It's a lot of the flavor and a lot of there's a lot in here that shuts shit down. Like, that stops things from happening. And I look at this and I go, I won't be surprised if maybe 2 cards get banned before rotation. Before it rotates out, not before, the fall. But I am not. No. This is not a bet, Dilla. Shut up. No.
I mean, I like free stuff. I mean, I'm looking at the preliminary prices. I mean, hashtag finance. Boseiju is the chase card. It's as for a rare to be $36 in a standard set is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So that tells you that every format wants this card.
Right.
This is like smothering tithe level of gimme.
Yeah. I might actually order 4.
Ginkataxis is the other one, and I think that's largely because Phyrexian Praetors are cool. Also, he's very powerful. Then there's Tameo, and I think a lot of that has to do with first Phyrexian Planeswalker.
Right.
Obviously, the prices will drop once release hits. Boseiju, that's probably going to stick around because it's going to depend on how many are opened. But
right.
There are good cards in here. I don't see anything getting banned.
Oh,
not in the near term.
I'm not saying near term. I'm saying there's going to be people are going to pissy. But yeah, that's kind of combat. So why don't we pay some bills real quick and we'll come back and talk some deck lists. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, let's do that.
When toxic culture has you down.
When you're just looking to laugh and have fun.
Kick back and enjoy watching a video game.
Or just make some new friends.
It's time to visit the Geek to Geek Media Network,
a community of podcasters, streamers, and bloggers.
Well, more of a family than a community.
All dedicated to geeking out about the things we love. Things like
video games,
Star Wars,
comics,
movies,
K-pop,
Disney Plus,
Keanu Reeves,
No.
Or whatever our community decides is the next best thing.
That's right. We have a great online community on Slack and Discord where we chat about our weekly geekery with listeners and viewers.
And each other.
Yep, and each other in real time, and we can't wait for you to join us.
So come check us out at geektogeekmedia.com.
And escape toxic fandom for something much more...
Keanu?
Yes, Keanu.
Main phase.
Okay, maybe coming out of the really positive commercial to an explosion that says main phase. Okay, I can see why we would do combat first.
It's a positive explosion. It's positively amazing.
All right, so main phase. So this is kind of what y'all have been waiting for, man. We're gonna do it now. We definitely gonna talk about the Kamigawa Winnabox deck list analysis. I guess is the best way to put it. So
analysis.
Yeah, analyze. Wait, what? I miss Arrested Development being good. Because he's like, I'm an analyst and a therapist. So his license plate said ANALRAPIST.
Anal rapist.
If you've never watched Arrested Development, you got it. Because he's like, no, it's not anal rapist, it's an anal rapist. It's great stuff, man. All right, nice. So let's do a little bit of deck analysis. So yes, so I have Vic's deck up first. All right, Vic. We're gonna go through these on rounds they're playing. Now, we did have 2 people who couldn't play, mainly because, and I mean, my God, I reached out a lot, but they never got their deck list in. So 2 people went out. So we do have so we have a couple of buys, but our first match is going to be Nurse Gamer VJ versus Muertes Favor. All right, so we have Nurse Gamer's deck up. So let me just put this on the general channel here. Oh wait, yeah. Oh wait, you guys see my Discord channel now. Wait, we're doing analysis. Kamigawa. This is so professional. I'm the best streamer ever. All right.
Best streamer.
All right. So here we go. So I've got Nurse Gamers up. It's on the screen. Let's kind of talk a little bit about it. So his commander is Kenrith, which again, 5 colors. Love it. What are you seeing in here, Aramis? What's he's got a couple finales. I love finales.
Yeah, let me see. We got Finale of Devastation and a Finale of Revelation. So he likes to draw a bunch of cards, and he likes to tutor for things and make them gigantic and run over your face. I can get behind that.
He's got the old standard Craterhoof, otherwise known as Elgar Gargaroth.
That's not a Craterhoof.
I know. And Race Forerunner is more that, but...
Yeah. I mean, it looks a little controlling to me.
It does to me, too. A lot of interaction as far as...
he does have a Craterhoof in here.
Is Craterhoof legal? Yeah, it is. Jumpstart. That's right.
He's got a hoof.
Oh, I love Craterhoof Behemoth. I do.
I've seen a Tolly. I love a Tolly.
So it looks like he's... I mean, he doesn't have a ton of ramp, does he? Like, I see Teferi's Protection. He's got Land of War Elves.
The thing about Arena's deck lists when you transfer them over is that it doesn't break them out into what they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even alphabetize them, so you're like, oh, look at these lands. Oh, wait, there's enchantments in here. Oh, wait, there's a creature in here. Oh, wait, there's instants in here.
Like, Nyx Bloom Ancient, Leyland of So he's got Nyx Bloom.
This is kind of a rampy couple of ley lines. He says he has a way to go infinite, so I imagine it has something to do with Nyx Bloom Ancient, because I'm sure tripling mana.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at his opponent, Muertes Favor. And he's playing Renin 7. So one doesn't have a lot of ramp, one has nothing but ramp.
Mono green, rippity ramp.
Mono green, rampy, stompy.
Class, epic proportions. Gauntlet with Savelli. What? Oh, Selvala?
Yeah.
So Selvala Heart of the Wild makes a lot of mana. Gauntlets of Light.
So he's playing ramp.
I see.
And I don't see Craterhoof. So that's interesting. He doesn't have the finisher.
Is that Muertes that doesn't have Craterhoof?
Yeah.
Carnage Tyrant, Allosaurus Shepherd.
Which I love Carnage Tyrant. That's a card that does not see a lot of.
Palaka Worm, Galta, Rampaging Brontodon, Meteor Golem, Pale Summer Song of Freyalise. Yeah, no.
I hate to say it. I think Vic's got it, though. I think Vic can bring colors, and what Kenrith can do as far as giving him life back, as far as, making things hasty.
The problem that he'll run into is the same problem that any 5-color deck runs into, and that is making sure he gets his colors on time. The one thing that helps Kenrith is that you can cast him without all 5 colors.
Right.
And you don't necessarily need access to all 5 of his abilities. I imagine he wants to make sure he has access to red, green, and possibly either white or blue.
And Mana Screw is a real thing inside of...
Mana Screw's a real thing anywhere. I mean, Arena has its own issues. I don't think it's quite as cut and dry as you think, because mono green, all they got to worry about is hitting their land drops.
True.
And with Renin 7 as your commander, you're going to be hitting your land drops. So it's going to be I think it's going to come down to if VJ can get Kenrith out on curve, turn 4 or earlier. If he can do that and start doing all the, what 5-color decks do. It's 5-color good stuff. They take all the best cards out of the 5 colors and just sort of smash them together, and it works. If he can start generating value early enough, I think he can overrun Muertes. But I don't think it's a clear, cut and dry win for him.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. All right, so let's. I do like Vic though. I'm going with Vic. So, all right, let's go to our returning champion. I think he plays the winner of this, if I'm not mistaken. I should pull up the brackets. But I think Exgol, Sophisticated, he's our returning champion. He got a bye. So, excuse me. He has, who's his commander? Winota. Oh, he's got asshole commander.
He played last time.
Yeah, I think he does. I think it's the same deck.
Might be the same deck. I mean, hey, run it back.
Yeah, exactly. Let it ride. So it's doing its Winota thing.
Ridiculous power.
It's just...
Winota is so good.
And why it's not banned in Historic Brawl, I still don't know. It depends on who he's facing. If he's facing Vic. Vic, did you guys face each other in the last one? I don't know if you faced him or not.
Just looking down to see through here if there's anything that's been added from the last couple of sets. Jumpstart. Midnight Hunt. So the Intrepid Adversary is in there. Yeah, might as well make your guys huge.
Yeah.
Plains, Mountain, Lester's Lands. The Falcon Rock Pit Fighter. Okay. Cave of the Frost Dragon from Forgotten Realms. Brutal Cathar, yeah. Yeah, Brutal Cathar. Adeline, Reckless Storm. Okay. There's some stuff from the newer sets that are in here, and yeah, Winota is just, it's one of those decks that if you have like, killing the commander isn't necessarily what you want to be doing. You want to be killing all the non-humans.
Right.
You need to make sure you've got board wipes aplenty when you're playing against Winota.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how many he's got, but Muertes won't have any. So he might have, X-Gold might have a really good early, I think he's got a good early bracket for what his deck does. And I'm going to pull up the tournament brackets here on the screen. Because, again, I don't have enough monitors. All right, let's see here.
Who's the next matchup?
Yeah, so it's Nickel Ruvalis and Sophisticated. Oh, so it's Sophisticated and... Oh, Nickel is playing Sophisticated. Okay, yeah. So he's playing Nickel. So he doesn't have a bye. So he's playing Sithless Harvest Hand.
That could be a problem.
That's a slight problem. Interesting.
Sithis is kind of gross, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Sithis can get going really early and just really snowball really quickly out of control. Especially if it's like, if he curves out into Sithis into like Heliod, it gets disgusting real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, Sithis is no joke.
Yeah,
and
I mean, just the massive amount of card draw.
So who are you thinking? Sithis, or if you had to go Sithis or Winota?
Gun to my head, I think Sithis probably wins.
Yeah, I'm going
if I had to make a pick, I think Sithis wins.
Not that I'm rooting against you there, X-Gold.
Not rooting against anybody. I think it's really close. It's about as close as to 50-50 as you can get, I think. Right. So it's one of those like 51-49 type of things.
Right.
I wouldn't be shocked at all if X-Gold ended up winning. But both of these decks, I mean, it's going to be a heck of a first round.
It is.
I'm really hoping this one gets recorded. Yeah,
me too. So we've got Epic Mouse versus Apple Freak. So Mark versus Apollo.
Okay.
And at this wins if they hit their removal. Yeah. At this wins. Yeah.
Sithis. Yeah.
Sithis. Yeah.
Yeah, because they have all that exile nonsense.
All right. So let's take a look here at Mark's deck. He's playing Lisa. So Angels.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily Angels. But,
he's got a few.
He's got a few. I mean, it's Orzhov, and they have a lot of Angels. But he's got Elishnorn. He's got Grey Merchant. Elishnorn would be good against Winota.
Yeah, it would.
The problem is you have to get it out before you die. Halvar, Heliod, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. You got Kaya, a couple of Kayas, a few Planeswalkers, 3 Planeswalkers that I can see. Shield Dread's in there too.
Oh, Ketra's Monument. I love that card for ramping.
Sir Conrad, Meathook Massacre, Veto. Yeah, this is Orzhov control, and just kind of like with a bit of a Reanimator twist to it.
Interesting. So he's playing against Apollo, who's playing Turgid. In other words, known as I play your stuff deck.
Turgid's one of those decks where it either works really well or it falls on its face. You can beat a Turgid deck. Depending on how they play Turgid. If they play it as the artifact, I've won enough games sort of letting them make me do, I'll eat life if I need to.
Right.
Because you're basically paying a lot of mana to do that and not really doing anything else as my phone rings.
Oh, I was like, wait a second, what? So, yeah, you're not wrong.
School.
Oh, maybe they're canceling school tomorrow. Is it supposed to snow or rain tomorrow?
I don't see why they would.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got. I mean, he has a whole ton of sack outlets and discard. It looks like duress. Interesting. I would have to take Apollo on this. I think the one color. I mean, Ritual Soot Rankle alone is great. Glint Sleeve is going to help you. The Priest of Forgotten Gods. It's a one color deck, so he's not going to deal with mana issues. He's got the best removal, I think, in the format.
Yeah, but
spot
Lisa,
removal, I should say.
The problem is if Lisa's out, Mark Stuff's not going to stay dead. It goes back to his hand.
Oh, yeah, but does it hit the graveyard first?
It hits the graveyard, but then it gets returned to his hand.
Right, but if he caused it to sack, or it doesn't, it won't. It should go to him, right?
Maybe I have to see how that trigger works.
Because that's an interesting trigger. That's a very interesting. Yeah, because I never thought of that.
Yeah, beginning the next end step.
Yeah.
So if the commanders aren't out, Turgid will steal the thing. But if he's trying to keep things out and Lisa's out, then yeah, he won't. That stuff won't stay dead. It'll go back to his hand. So that's going to be a timing thing. Who can keep each other's commander off the board?
Yeah.
And that's also if they play Turgid as the creature, not the artifact.
Right. Which I think he would. I don't see why you wouldn't.
Turgid as the artifact can be a very quick clock.
Yeah.
And a nice means of keeping the board clear. Because people are going to eventually want to keep their stuff. So it's like, well, you can start paying life.
Yeah, but does he really have a finisher if he's not taking their shit? Like, looking at this, I mean, what's his finisher then? If he plays Rankle, kinda. It
might be a game of keep the board clear, and then wait until the late game, play Turgid, and just pump a bunch of mana into it.
Right. Interesting. Well,
because that could be done. Because I mean, if like in the late game you got 12, 13 mana available, you're like, well, I hope you have a lot of life total left because you're going to be taking 9 otherwise.
That's true. All right, so Kyuka Killer versus Atom Bomb. I'm trying to find their bracket here. See what they've got.
I'm already seeing. Ooh. So Kyuka Killer is running Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
Yeah, which when he told me that, I was like, oh man, I never thought to try to run that as a commander. All right then.
This is Azorius control.
Yep, all the way.
Counter and kill everything in sight. Get Teferi out. Get to the ultimate,
and then
just make your opponent cry.
Exile your stuff. Yep.
Exile everything. This is.
I mean, Azor is monstrous in this deck. He's gonna have a blast with it. Brazen Borrower.
I like that he alphabetized it.
Yeah, I like his deck. Like I love this deck.
Mm-hmm. No, it's very, very good. It's. I've played against these a few times, and you have to be able to go underneath all that nonsense really quickly because this deck can just lock things down very fast.
I'm surprised he didn't throw an Alrund in there just to get us.
Alrund's Epiphany is in there.
Oh, I just didn't see it. All right.
Yeah. It's Aaron.
Hey, what's up, nephew? My nephew's on. So, because I'm Uncle Will, he's my nephew Will, Little Will. We'll call him L Dubs. All right, let's go to Atom Bomb. Atom Bomb has
Teysa Karlov.
Yes, he does, and I like
tokens.
her. Tokens and
death triggers.
Death triggers. Tons and tons of death triggers. Midnight Reaper, Murderous Rider. I don't know how he does against Teferi. I really don't. I love Yawgmoth.
He's playing creatures.
He's playing good creatures. But I don't know if he's going to get them out.
Look to see how many wraths
all right, I'm going to leave this running.
We got Baffling In, Banishing Light.
Yeah.
Cast Out.
Yeah, lots of tokens. So he's trying.
Judgment, Realm Cloak Giant. I mean, there's 2 wraths right there. Doomscar.
And I like what he's doing as far as he might have some shot as far as getting tokens out non-interactively, meaning, he's got Felidar there that's going to bring out tokens on its own. He's got ways to bring tokens out that are not casting a spell to get them out. Felidar Retreat, yeah. I like it. I just, gosh, you have to have a really, really fast clock to stop Teferi, because if he can get Teferi out turn 5, you got a 3-turn clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely. I'm going to go with Teferi. I'm going to say Kuka Killer.
Yeah, I think Teferi has the advantage here because there's at least 5 Wraths in this deck. So, I mean, he's going to have enough card draw to access those when he needs them.
Yeah.
And the death triggers will be cute and all, but I don't think it's a blowout by any means.
No.
But I think Kuka Killer is favored.
I mean, is he running? All right, yeah, he is running Alrund's Epiphany. Is he running Search for Scanta? Because that would have been a card he should have wanted in this deck.
This isn't really a tap out control, so
yeah, interesting.
I don't think Search. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but
right. Well, let's talk about anyone else's deck but Justin's. No, I'm kidding. So, Justin is going to face the winner of that match, and he is playing a Meronar deck.
Rat Colony deck.
Many, many, many rats. Tons of rats all the time. Nothing but rats. An interesting deck, and I think it's got a lot of potential. It's low enough to the ground to where he should be able to get something out every turn. By turn 4 or 5, go ahead and counter my first rat colony. I'll cast another. If he's playing somebody like Teferi, the board wipe situation is going to be a problem for him.
That's the thing. I've played against these decks before too, and they either overrun you or they run out of rat colonies.
Right.
That there's no in between, because they're dumping their hand pretty quickly, and a couple of consecutive wraths kind of takes the wind out of their sails.
Yep.
He's got the Immortal Sun, which is a nice piece of tech. So if he can drop that down and protect it somehow.
Yeah, I think if you end up playing Teferi, Justin, you want to. Yeah, I wouldn't say mulligan aggressively to Immortal Sun, but if I don't have it in my first hand, I might mulligan to 6 just to
But at the same time, the Teferi deck's going to be keeping a counterspell for that very reason.
Right. So
especially in a best of 3, like you might be able to surprise him game 1.
Yeah.
But after that, he'd be like, I'm keeping a negate in the back pocket just for that bad boy.
Yeah, because that ends his day. Oh my gosh! It depends on who he faces. If he's facing Teferi, he's got an uphill battle. If he's facing Tedra, well, that's actually a slugfest. Like,
no, he's got some problems.
Really?
Is he playing Mumbledown?
No, he would end up playing against the winner of Teysa Karlov or.
I'm saying this round.
He's buying this round. He's in a buy.
Oh, he's got to buy.
Yeah.
All right. So I was going to say.
So he plays either Teysa or Teferi. If he plays Teferi, he's going to have an uphill climb. If he plays Teysa, it's a slugfest.
Yeah, it's going to be a matter of. Well, I mean, Teysa's got the Meat Hook Massacre.
He's like, I have a way to bypass certain things. Oh, we know, Justin. But I want to see it. Make sure you record this. I want to see these matches. Let's go on to our next bracket: Mumbledown versus Emberfire. Now, I have a hard time voting against Emberfire. I love her. She's just amazing. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. She's kid of one of my best friends. So, that being said, Mumbledown is playing Xanathar, Guild Kingpin. So, yeah.
I get to play your stuff.
Lots and lots of your stuff. And what a deck. Like, I kind of want to make a commander deck out of that card. Like, I'm really thinking about it. It's not a commander deck I would play on Commander Craft because, again, play your deck sucks on Spell Table. But in Arena and in paper, this deck is This deck is just a piss me off deck. Like, for frack's sake, let me play my cards. And he's playing against Ember. And Ember is playing Dina Soul Steeper. Now, Dina's one of my favorite Golgari commanders.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. And I like her a lot. I like Ember's deck. I think they really built it rather well. A lot of basics. Not a lot.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I'm saying. Let's see. She's running Druid class. They're running yeah. Again, I'm really surprised if Craterhoof is in. I forgot Craterhoof was in Historic. Like, how are you not playing Craterhoof? In a green deck, you play Craterhoof. Like, you make it work.
If you're not necessarily going wide, I mean,
yeah.
Craterhoof doesn't do much if there's only 2 other creatures in play.
And yeah, Massacre Worm, but not Massacre Girl. Interesting. I guess they're kind of redundant.
They do different things.
Right.
I think the Worm is a little more synergistic.
Yeah. I don't know. Mumble Down or Ember.
She's got an infinite combo.
Yeah.
Veto and Exquisite Blood.
What do they got?
Veto and Exquisite Blood is an infinite combo.
Oh.
Once somebody loses life, they lose all the life.
Ooh. So.
Or once they gain life, they lose all the life.
And Mumble Down is playing a blue deck, so they would have. Do they have a way to counter that?
Oh, of course they do.
All right. Cool. Exquisite is so mean in this deck. Ember's watching.
Yeah, it's a pretty gross card.
Yeah. Who do you go for then?
I think the Xanathar deck might have the advantage. Just from the controlling aspect of it, I think it can lock things down. But again, it's gonna I hate saying this, but all of these matchups really are draw dependent. Yeah. It's gonna depend on who goes first. It's gonna depend on if they hit their land drops. I mean,
I think I would have liked to have seen is Hellfire.
Torment to Hellfire is legal.
Yeah, it is. I'm surprised that might have been a card I would have put in this deck. I think
Torment to Hellfire is a classic black finisher.
Yeah, I probably would have threw that in this deck just as an extra side try to finish them off. I mean, you got Trespasser's Curse, which is almost as good, but yeah, Torment to Hellfire is.
Well, Trespasser's Curse, that only makes them lose a life, and you gain a life if they have a creature enter the battlefield. I think you're thinking of Torment of Scarabs.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Torment of Scarabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
Torment to Hellfire is a hell.
You know what? I can't root against MB, man. It's MB. Can't root against MB. I'm going MB. I gotta go MB. I've known MB since they were kids. All right, let's go to Bowfinger Fan versus our buddy Levi. So Bowfinger is playing Vadric. Ooh.
Vadric Astral Archmage. That deck gets ridiculous very fast.
Justin was not expecting us to rule against him. One thing I forgot to mention, I have Death Touch and Medicine Vault. He's like, no, seriously. All right, Vadric, Astral Archmage.
This deck gets gross really fast.
Yeah, it does. Holy shite.
I have always had a very hard time beating these decks if they are able to do anything early. Like, if they're not missing land drops, these decks are real hard to beat.
And a good Alrund's Epiphany.
Especially when it costs 4 less.
Yeah. Because again, thank you.
Because Vadric is good.
Well, not just that, but it's also the Alchemy Alrund.
I'm not talking about the Alchemy. I'm talking about just Vadric making it cost 4 less.
And well, let's see. Well, and Levi is playing Keenan. Oh, see, I love Keenan. Oh gosh, how do we?
These are both 2 decks that can just fly out of the gates super early. So again, who wins the coin flip? Who hits their land drops on time? That's really going to determine who wins these matches. I mean,
all right, yeah, but I think we have to look at this from the standpoint of okay, it's more than just that. I think he can recover if he misses it more. I think Keenan has a lot more, or not Keenan.
Vadric?
Yeah, I think Vadric had, because of the fact it lowers costs. Kinnan does the same thing, though, doesn't it?
Kinnan doubles your mana.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same thing.
All right.
So it's either double your mana or cost reduction.
Levi, somebody had better fucking record this match.
These games should be over very quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. You know what? Screw it. Levi's one of our Commander Craft people, and I think he's a patron. So, Levi, I vote Levi.
I'm gonna go Bowfinger just from history that I've seen. I've seen the Vadric decks be more consistent than the Kinnan decks. Kinnan decks can stumble out of the gates a little more often, I think.
I got you. I'm going wrecked. I'm gonna get wrecked. He says. Oh, that's great. All right, let's move on to Merriweather versus my buddy Kyle. Merriweather is playing
Captain Ripley Vance.
Interesting. So, Pirates.
I don't even remember what she does.
Dude, they've got your favorite card in there, though.
Let's see. Captain Ripley Vance, 3/2 for 2 and a red. Whenever you cast your third spell each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Captain Ripley Vance, then it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And by the way, Merriweather does have Rekindling Phoenix.
Cool. I like me a Phoenix.
So a lot of red, obviously. Is Ripley Vance red? Yeah, Ripley
Vance is this mono red. This is burn.
Don't know. Should they have gone Ripley Vance or Torbran?
Ripley Vance, I think it's just because Torbran can't go face by itself.
True. So they're going mono red. Kyle's playing an interesting Rakdos. He's playing Rakdos.
Rakdos the showstopper. So this is demons, devils, tribal.
Yep.
And basically, Rakdos is going to come, kill all your shit. Mine's going to be fine. I'm just going to smash your face.
Oh god, it's tough to root against mono red, but I think Kyle's due for a win. And I like this deck list. I like the synergy of this list. I mean, is he missing pieces?
I'm gonna take the pirate.
You taking the pirate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kyle's not even willing to root for himself. I'm going to take the pirate too. Then, Kyle, I was going to go with you. It's made for my opponent to win. Wow. All right.
Oh, I like the next deck here.
HP Wizards?
No, Net Rocks.
Oh. Yeah. Oh,
I like HP Wizards, but HP Wizards play Niv Mizzet Power Room, but I love Net Rocks deck.
Yeah. So HP Wizard and Netrock are both buys. They're both waiting for their opponents.
All right, so we'll talk about HP Wizard then.
Okay, HP Wizard, they're playing Niv Mizzet. Oh, you love Niv Mizzet.
So we have Niv Mizzet, we have Curiosity, so we've got the combo. And this is, is it control? And card draw for days. And hopefully, get
he's trying to get to the end. He's trying to get to the Niv Mizzet.
Get to Curiosity, slap it on Niv Mizzet, and then just machine gun down your opponent.
Yeah, that's all he's looking to do.
I like it.
I do too. I mean, anybody who plays him, let's see, what bracket is he in? That's HP Wizard, right?
Yeah.
So HP Wizard is in the he's waiting for the winner of Merriweather and Kyle. Oh, that's why he's where he is. He's having an easier time with either one. Interesting. The mono red could be fun for him. He's still going to crush it. I think both those decks are overpowered or underpowered against that deck. I think Niv Mizzet is one of the better commanders in Brawl right now. And I mean 2-color, not 5-color.
Niv Mizzet's just so good.
And then right now already sitting in, I do believe, our elite they're in our 1, 2, 3, 4. Netrock is already in the final 4.
How did that happen?
He got a buy. Like, it was weird because he was playing K-Ross, so both him and K-Ross got a round 1 buy. Then they were playing each other, but K-Ross never got their list in. So,
jeez, K-Ross.
So, yeah.
It do be like that sometimes.
Yeah. So Netrock, Chandra, Torch of Defiance.
Chandra Tribal.
Yes, I love this deck.
This deck is amazing. It's my favorite deck in the tournament.
Is it really? I mean, it's not going to win, you don't think?
I'm not saying favorite to win, but it's my favorite deck in the tournament.
As far as flavor goes, like, I would have liked to have seen somebody do a Teferi deck.
Well, Chandra Tribal is actually very strong.
Yeah. So
Chandra's kind of nuts.
Yeah, Netrock's looking at... Well, you know what? I guarantee you this. Netrock is in the Final Four. I guarantee it.
I mean, Torbjorn's in this deck. I mean, Itali's in here. There's 10 Chandras?
Yeah. And they play... Netrock plays the winner of Epic Mouse and Apple Freak. So... Let's see. Apple Freak's playing... And...
Turgid and Lisa.
Yeah.
So Chandra Source going face.
Yeah.
If she can.
Interesting. Turgid, he could have a problem, right?
Could have a problem with Turgid once he starts stealing Planeswalkers.
Yeah. But that's a good deck. So yeah, that's it. K-Roz and Magnus Mac. I really wish I reached out to you guys many times on Discord. Would have loved to have had you guys be able to play. Hopefully next time. But yeah, so here's the deal, guys. All right, if you're in this tournament, we really, really want to encourage you guys to record if you can. Look up OBS. There are various programs out there that'll record your games. Obviously, if you're playing mobile, that's a little tougher. Try to have a computer that's, a little bit. We had some people drop some last time that were like we just couldn't use them. So, but do your best you can. We'd really, really like to see these, because what'll happen is this: probably, depending on how many we get this week, next Friday, Aramis and I will probably do the call. Or maybe even this coming Friday if we get enough of them. But we'll get together. Usually it's a Friday night. I will pull all the videos you send, and then we will, play them back to back, and we'll just give you guys, feature your decks as they're being played. So we'd really, really, really like to do that. So send it to me. I'm on Dropbox at will@willbenson.net. I'm on Google Drive at wbenson@gmail.com. Should be very easy to get me either one of those. But with that, is there anything else you can think of? What deck do you think is going to win this tournament, if you had to pick one?
It's always hard to bet against the champ, right?
Right.
So
I'm gonna bet against the champ, though.
But Netrock already being in the Final Four, that kind of would make a biased pick, right?
Right. I'm gonna lean towards. I think Niv Mizzet. I really think Niv Mizzet can pull it.
Niv Mizzet can make a showing for sure.
Yeah.
Sithis can be really good too.
Sithis could. It's interesting. Nobody's playing.
I am again very upset that no one picks Zakama.
Nobody picked Omnath.
Well, Omnath got nerfed.
Oh, did it? Yeah, it did. Did it right?
Yeah, Omnath got nerfed.
I am surprised nobody played Zakama. I know Jake really wanted to play in the tournament, but he's like, "Can we play?" But even though we're doing the show, I'm like, "No, you can't play. You're on the network."
Yeah, conflict of interest.
Can Aramis and I play?
Yeah, I'd love another box.
I know, right? But I guess, we're sitting at about an hour and 20, so why don't we go ahead and get right into...
End step.
All right, end step. So as Aramis and I start picking up our cards, putting them back in their boxes, rolling up our playmats, and putting the pizza boxes by the trash, because damn it, your mother still does not work in this Sam Goody store. We want to remind you that we have a Twitch chat. Yeah, I went old school on that one.
It's back.
That's back. That's back.
Radio Shack,
well, did you want me to say Tower Records? I could have gone that.
Nobody beats the Wiz.
Nobody beats the Wiz. Or Crazy Eddie, my prices are insane. All right.
Yeah.
That's a New York City thing. If you don't get it, that's okay.
I get it.
We have a Twitch channel where we stream all sorts of content. Look up the PlanesTalkers podcast channel on Twitch, and there you're going to see all the shows we do on both Magic as well as other geeky games like Minecraft, DC Universe Online, all sorts of fun stuff. You can also follow me at Twitch on Mindcrime73, and I'd love to have you.
And if you'd rather interact with us in a more real-time fashion, you can join our Discord. That is discord.planestalkerspodcast.com. We got a great community there. I mean, a lot of us are on Twitch tonight, but when we're not on Twitch, it's a pretty active community, especially during the times of the Winterbox. But even without that, people are always willing to talk about things, especially now that we have the deck formula floating around.
Yes.
People are submitting their decks, and we'll have discussions about those. It's really been a lot of fun. So I hope to see you guys on our Discord. But if Twitter is more your speed, I'm trying to become more active on the Twitter.
You're doing a good job. You're pretty.
Sometimes it's hard to come up with just random things to tweet about, but I'm doing my best. So if you want to follow us on Twitter, @PlanesTalkerPod is where you'll find us.
All right. And my personal Twitter is @WRBenson. I don't really tweet all that often, but I am on there occasionally. And of course, you can always follow us on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/PlanesTalker. Like and follow our page there. Don't forget, we also do a playcast on Wednesdays called Commander Craft, where we play listeners like you, Paper Commander, live. Justin, I'd love to have you. You had a Commander deck, dude, when you left Glenmont. So tune into our channels Wednesdays around 7. This week, Kinetic Levi, our buddy there, he's our champion. So we're still looking for one more. If you want to play, let me know in our Discord. We'd love to have you. Look at this, Justin. And Justin, but hey, be honest. What are my chances of me winning? Justin, here's my thinking on this. You ready? And I'm going to be as brutally honest with you as I can be about your deck. I foresee that you have a 1 in 17 chance of winning. Aramis, thoughts?
I completely concur.
All right, good call. All right, so Wednesday night, we'd love to have you. Just go to our Discord. Let us know you want to play. Finally, you can send us... Oh, wait, that's you. Tune into our channels Wednesdays around 7 to watch the show.
Trying to steal my shit.
I know. I got skills, man.
Not good.
I'm trying... You know what? Let's face it. I'm the talent. You're the looks. I'm the talent.
Oof. Then we're doomed. But talking about Commander Craft real quick, I got a new deck for Wednesday. I'm super looking forward to it.
Oh, God. Is this the high-powered one you're doing?
Could be.
You son of a bitch. All right, I'm playing dragons. That's all there's to it.
Well, I mean, this person that, they're going for their third win, right? Kinetic's going for win number 3.
Is this win number 3 for him?
Going for 3.
Oh, hell yeah. Then it is dragons for me, too. Yeah,
He's
I'm bringing the heat. And then you bring Zakama for what do you call it?
It's not Zakama.
No, you bring Zakama though for if he gets to arch enemy.
For Nemesis?
Yeah, Nemesis.
We'll see. So there's a potential for a Nemesis game on Wednesday.
Yes. Oh my
so
gosh.
you're not going to want to miss that. We haven't had one since we changed it to the fourth game of a deck being the Nemesis. It's the first time if it gets to that point that we'll be doing it. So tune in. You don't want to miss it. 7 o'clock Wednesday night.
That's going to be exciting. I'm hoping.
Finally, if you want to email the show.
Oh, he's like full send.
Full send. He's like, bring it, bitches. Send an email to the show. Tell us what decks we should be playing on Commander Craft, or if you have an idea for a deck we can play, or an idea for the show, something to talk about, or you just want to chat with me or Will. There are 3 email addresses you can use to get in touch with the show. The first one gets to both of us at the same time. The address for that is podcast@planestalkerspodcast.com. If you'd like to email one of us individually, you can email Will. His address is will@planestalkerspodcast.com. To the thunderous applause of literal tens of people.
Yes.
Tens and tens of people. And if you'd like to email me, the address is Aramis@planestalkerspodcast.com. It's okay, I don't like it.
This is why I have the soundboard. I'm just kidding. Are you there?
No, I left. I'm gone.
Oh, you got? Yeah.
No, I'm out. Yeah, I'm out.
No, Aramis@PlanesTalkersPodcast.com. I didn't mean to push the boo one. I was trying to hit the laughing one. But yeah. So, but on that note, we want to thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. We really enjoyed playing with all of you and talking to all of you. Best of luck to everybody in the Winterbox. Thanks for sticking around. We know it's a longer show. We'll be back on Monday with a new show next week, talking probably about pre-release stuff. I'm not sure if we're getting out to one or not. But we will be back next Monday. We'll be back Wednesday with Commander Craft. So don't miss that. For Aramis Perez, this is Will Benson saying thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of the show. And reminding you to always keep some of your mana untapped because you never know when you'll need it. Take care and have a great week. Bye now. Yeah, I meant to hit laughing this one.
No, that's fine. I know.
I was like, oh, wow, that got dark. There's a laugh track on this. All right, we're done recording. I don't know what's happening, though. I don't know where I get the recording. It says uploading, so upload complete. Your local audio and video have been uploaded to Riverside. You can close this page now. How do I get it? I'll have to get it tomorrow.
So Paulo is asking, having trouble selecting a finisher for the Turgor deck. Thoughts for next time? I mean,
Torment of Hailfire.
Torment of Hailfire.
If you're playing black,
fucking gross.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, actually.
I mean, it's like, all right, X is 10, so you either sacrifice 10 non-land permanents, discard 10 cards, or lose 30 life, or some combination thereof.
Yeah, and Justin, we have to wait until tomorrow. Patrons have first dibs until Tuesday morning. But if I don't get another patron who wants to play, then we'll throw you in. Here's what you need to do, Justin. I need you to put your deck lists for any deck you think you might want to play. You have to put it in the Commander deck list channel. So you have to put it into Moxfield, get all that information. Aramis will then do all the calculations so that we know what kind of power level we're talking. Now, Kinetic is playing a pretty well-tuned deck, and he's on game 3. So that's why
his deck actually has a fairly low power level.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
low is a relative term.
It's deceptively good.
He got very consistent draws off of it. His deck is actually listed at a 7.1.
Right, and I mean I'm gonna roll in with the dragon and probably lose my ass. So,
he handled Traxos pretty easily, and Traxos is a 9.
He handled Vix Elves. Vix Elf deck is like wicked better than mine.
8.7 for the Lathril.
Yeah, so I've thought about playing my Lathril too, but again, I'm just gonna play. Well, maybe I should save Dragon for Nemesis.
Yeah,
I'm
bringing the new deck in only because it's a new deck and I want to play it.
Yeah,
I mean it's gonna create some problems for people, but sometimes being the center of attention is a good thing.
Yeah, I love your decks, Aramis. Have I ever told you how much I love your decks? Oh my gosh, that's what we should make. The channel called I Love Your Decks.
I haven't played Athreos in a while. Okay?
No, you haven't, and that's because most of us cry when you do.
It's only a 6.7.
Yeah, but it's just like isn't Athreos the one that's like which one's the one that's like chaos on a stick?
Oh, that's Yidris.
Oh yeah, Yidris.
And that's an 11-6.
Yeah, and that's the one you play when we're at flights. So are you going to the pre-release?
I can't say on air.
So yes.
Athreos is the Wrath tribal. It's the one with 25 Wraths.
Oh.
So if you're playing creatures, you're not having a good time.
No.
Remember when I played that deck against Steve and them and Anthony?
Oh yeah.
And Feather cost 25 mana by the end of the game, and he was able to cast it.
If I'm able to play on bringing in my dragons, we will burn you all. So I won't play dragons then, obviously, Justin. Justin, put your decks into Moxfield. That way
Moxfield, buddy.
Yeah, as many of them as you can, and that way we'll have Rule Zero discussion on Wednesday. Like I said, you'll know tomorrow morning. I'll put it in the Discord. If we don't get a patron who wants the slot, I'll slot you into game 2. That's usually where our non-patrons go almost automatically. If we get to a game 2, which we should, because I think Kinetic's deck is really quick.
It's pretty quick. Pretty quick.
But you can, you're almost assuredly in for game 2. And if Kinetic wins, it's Nemesis, which is our version of Arch Enemy. So, yeah. But at the very least, you can be in for game 1 tomorrow if a patron doesn't take the slot. So, all right. And this looks like it uploaded. So, I guess, we're at 10 o'clock. I guess we should call it, right?
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we're going to stop the stream now. So, thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for watching and listening and stuff. Really enjoyed having everybody on. Tell your friends about us. Like and subscribe in Twitch, please, guys. Give me some follows. We need more. So, feel free to throw us some follows and stuff. I mean, that really helps the show if you don't want to be a patron is coming behind it in that regard. So, Oh my gosh, dude, we're at the end of the thing. You know what we didn't get tonight? No bot. We went botless tonight.
Awesome.
That's amazing. All right, guys, we're going to talk to you later. Have a good night. We'll see you Wednesday.